On here with some thoughts for today. Not all of us are totally satisfied with where we are in life. In fact, probably most of us are dissatisfied to some extent. Hopefully not to a large extent, but to some extent. And that's a good thing because that can give us an incentive to make changes in the way that we lead our lives in the setting of goals and so on. But let me start out with a statement that may be somewhat controversial or may be understandable. You are exactly where you should be. At this point, we are all kind of a combination or the end result of a combination of decisions that we've made, behaviors that we've developed, learnings that we've accomplished, and so on. We are also a product of some things that are beyond our controls. The family we grew up in, the people we've been exposed to, the jobs that we've held, medical issues, where we live, and so on. The combination adds up to make us be exactly where we should be at this point. But we don't have to stay there. Staying there is called being stuck. We've got the ability to not be stuck by not overly focusing on the past, but using it as a building block for the future. The great hockey player Wayne Gretzky famously said, "Skate to where the puck is going, not to where it's been." Where it's been is an important factor in determining where it's going, but it's not very productive if you want to score goals or keep the other team from doing so. Same thing with life. Many people enjoy reading history. For most of us, it can be an enjoyable thing and help us to understand how we got to where we are. There are some people, though, in government and other places who are in a position to actually change history. Many of us can't make major changes in world history or national history other than by voting, which is not a small thing. But we are in a position to make changes in the way we lead our lives. It begins with acceptance of the fact that we are where we should be, so that when we are starting out, we must not dwell on the fact, how did we get there? What lousy decisions did we make? How unfairly have we been treated? We've all had those things in the past, some more so than others. But the fact is that we're here now. We don't have to stay here now. And so the purpose of this video is really to encourage you to recognize, number one, you're here now, you're where you should be, but you don't have to stay there. Look back at your history. See what decisions you made that you might make differently. See what things had happened in your past involved relying on the advice of others whom you don't have to rely on. Don't lament the past, but use it as a basis for building forward in the future. I always encourage people to think in terms of short, medium, and long-term goals, long-term being 10 years. And I also encourage people to not use the to excuse. That's TOO, the to excuse. When you find yourself saying, I can't change because I'm too old, too young, too emotional, too uneducated, too shy, too whatever, remember the other part of that statement. It's the to excuse. The other thing is excuse. You can't build your future based on excuses. So again, recognize you are where you should be. You don't have to stay there. Let's make a better future for ourselves by focusing on where we want to go, what things we can draw from the past to implement necessary changes, and then to move forward. This is Ron Kaiser at the Mental Health Gym, and talking about ways of rejuvenating and building toward the future by accepting that you are where you should be, but you don't have to stay there. Let's move forward together And in doing so, you make a better person out of yourself, and you contribute to making this a better world.